Hello and welcome to the No Fame Podcast Null Shore, Episode 9, Oracle. We just wanted to give a quick shout out to you, the listener. That's right, we know we've got some people in Canada and the United States listening, of course, but we've also got some people from across the pond, like in Ireland. So, what are you at, Ireland? Thanks for listening. All right, let's get into the next episode of Null Shore. Session when we left off, I should say, was or I guess leading up to this point, you guys left the Gloomwood National Forest. You sent Lawrence and the children off with Anne, who was driving, to get them all back safely. Lawrence was completely exhausted, but you guys decided you wanted to try to find Dale, as he posted a viral TikTok video which has taken off. Upon Glomin kind of trying to like that video, your phone superheated and you managed to quit the app before something terrible happened, which was a very clutch move on your part. But when you guys decided to try to locate Dale, or his last known location based on the video, Xander pulled out his laptop and did a natural 20 search and sparked with electricity. You guys were all linked by this static lightning that was connecting you all as the computer screen started whipping through settings and information, and you saw numbers, and it looked like the computer was like completely glitching out before it showed a location on the coastline, which was the Null Shore Lighthouse, which you found out. You all piled into Ed's truck, everyone except who I mentioned earlier, and you made your way to the lighthouse. This fairly tall lighthouse. You made your way inside, where some of you were looking around. Glomin and Chad sat at the table with some cards. Ed and Xander made their way upstairs, where Ed picked a lock and Xander Xander picked Ed's pocket. And we left off with them going into the upstairs section, and Ben casting Detect Thoughts on the statue. He was aiming to find out if he could find some more information kind of linked in with the tree that used to exist in place of the lighthouse, and the wolf that he spotted, and the wolves from the lore that he also remembered and researched recently, where the early settlers in Null Shore were attacked by what was described as wolves in their text and journals that they kept back in the day. But yes, Ben cast Detect Thoughts, and the statue, it's giant. Well, actually, sorry, that's not what happened. Ben cast edit all of it. Ben cast Detect Thoughts as he was pulled into like this dreamlike state where he was back in the forest walking through it. All of the trees expanded out away from him, and suddenly the coastline came rushing up. The coast stopped suddenly, and the waves crash upon the ground and kind of dissipate over the ground that Ben is standing on. And the statue was there on the coast as it looked down and greeted Ben, saying that it needed Ben's help and it was glad that he came here. We're going to pick back up upstairs in the lighthouse as Ed and Xander you guys just walked in through the open door leading to the upstairs section. Ed, yes, you and Xander just unlocked this door and made your way to where the actual beacon of the lighthouse sits. As you kind of open the door, I'll tell you what you see. Obviously, it's the open-faced glass pointing out towards the coast. It's a little over 180 degrees where the glass is actually open. The actual beacon itself is a giant fuck-off lamp encased in protective glass. And it's kind of on like its own little stand, and you see some like dials and like little devices and stuff like that on this little pedestal that's sitting on. The floor itself is a half moon kind of shape, where you can actually, if you peek over, you can see straight down to the ground floor. And that's pretty much it for the upstairs section.
The controls panel thing that you said I've seen, is it modern or is it like old?
Yeah, it's these big old analog knobs with like the pointy bit.
Okay. Can I just go over and have a look at that, see if I can figure out like what the controls are? I don't want to actually try and change anything, but I want to see, can I control it?
Yeah. You walk up to the little control panel there. The actual beacon is not turned on right now. It is off.
So my lighting effects were for nothing.
Sorry. I was wondering what you were doing, but I couldn't let myself get distracted because I was talking.
What time is it right now? Like what time of day?
Super late. It's 2:30, I'd say, in the morning.
And it's, dark out.
Yeah, it's the dead of night.
Is the lighthouse usually on? Is it actually used nowadays, or is it more of a tourist attraction type of deal?
I won't make you guys roll for this because I kind of gave this up last time, where there hasn't been a lighthouse keeper in a while, so the lighthouse hasn't been upkept.
Okay. Before I want to try turning it on. I'm not sure why. Just what I feel like I should do.
Yep.
But before I do that, like the light in the center, is it one of those big gigantic ones that's, like a big frigging glass tube, or is it some kind of like modernish thing? What does it look like?
Yeah, it looks very old. It looks it's got like a metal backing kind of almost halfway behind it, like a metal, reflective backing, and then the front part is all encased in gold, and then it looks like an old tube, like old tube technology where it's vacuum sealed, obviously, because it's a lamp and that's how they work. But it doesn't look modern whatsoever.
Okay. Can I just have a look at that, see if there's anything broken with it, knowing that, this hasn't been kept up or anything?
Yeah,
I want to make sure I'm not going to start a fire if I try to turn it on.
Good point. Give me investigation. Or electronics if you have that, if we added that skill.
Ooh, 7.
7, beautiful. No, do you see all the wires? They all look connected. It looks
good to me. Full moon.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Sorry. I messed these up. If this changed to your decision, my note. I was going off my memory because I was scrolling through my notes and couldn't find it at the time. Sorry. Left is the full moon. Center is half moon. The third is the sliver moon, which makes way more sense in my mind. Even as I was saying it, I'm like, that's weird, but I'll go with it because that's what.
And it's currently on the sliver?
It's currently on the full moon. Center is the half moon, which is where you were about to turn it. And then the far right is the sliver. The third position is the sliver. And they've each got a little light up LED type situation above them.
So by looking at that, like really it should be on.
Yeah, if you were to, judging by the logic you were just using, you would think it would be on you.
Well, I'm going to have a look around at everything else in the room, and I'm just going to turn back to the strange European man behind me, and that I don't remember him being a part of our group, and ask him, just be like, hey, kid, you know stuff about, like, I don't know, electronics and shit?
Yes, I know. I can't ruin 2 of his characters.
Why not?
Yes, I know much about electronics.
Yes, I know very much.
Well, I'm happy you asked.
How do you say,
I'm just going to ask him to take a look at the thing and see if he can figure out why it's not on, because it seems like there's some kind of power to it with the little LEDs or ancient LEDs. Well,
that was a 6. That was a big 6.
this is a classic Justin roll.
Yeah. Give me a perception check.
Natural 20, 25.
Oh, natural 20. You can follow the wiring, and the wiring actually does like kind of trail down, and there's other lights and stuff obviously installed there. But there's no hidden message. There's no, hidden meaning like, oh, if I look at this angle, I'm going to see a weird thing telling me what to do. It doesn't seem like anything strange is going on in that regard.
Well, seeing as you're kind of picking up on what I'm laying down, my next question was going to be, is there a little balcony outside? Like, is there any way to go outside on the top floor?
Yeah, there is like a little balcony to like the outer area.
I want to go out there and just look back towards, because we came out here from the woods where we were, right?
You guys drove for about 20 odd minutes to get there?
That's what I said, yes. I just want to go outside and have a look around and see if there's any like clear landmarks that stand out to me that aren't like, tourist spots or anything. Like, is there any section of the woods that has like a clear line of sight from here, like where we were? I want to look in kind of like that direction.
This is actually where I'll pick up your natural 20. I'll do it justice. When you walk out, the only, like looking, obviously half of it is the ocean that you can see, a good portion of it at least. And then you kind of walk back around towards where the town would be. So you're kind of walking around towards the south, technically. And you can see, the glow of all the houses, and then you see like, it goes dark because it's all forest, and then you see the glow of downtown and it goes dark. And then like way further on, it's a little bit tough to see, is like the ISO Cove, which is like the other kind of community that's way further down. But, and then when you look to the west, you see Beacon Mountain, and you see some lights over there from the village that's set up there. But you notice that where you're standing, you can point at downtown and Beacon Mountain in almost like a perfect little, what would shape up to be a perfect little triangle. And that's where that nat 20 will come into play right there.
Well, I heard that European guy say something about angulation or triangulation or something before, so I guess that kind of clicks in with that. I'm just going to I'm going to take out my phone and take a picture, try to convey in the picture what it is I'm seeing.
It's actually the worst part is you're going to look later, it's just going to be your chin, like
yeah, just every old man's Facebook profile picture.
Glomin and Chad, what are two of you doing at the poker table downstairs?
Quick question. How do I get rid of a level of exhaustion?
That level of exhaustion came from getting out of the forest, and the only way to get rid of that one is to take a rest.
Right. Okay. Should we just go in the sea?
I'm always down for a swim. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Chad just pulls off his shirt. Keeps the flip-flops on, though. Gotta watch that rocky bottom.
Are you guys heading outside to go for a swim in the ocean?
We're gonna go for a swim.
Yeah. Amazing. Ben, you don't see this because Ben, you're in a fucking trance. And no one else sees this.
I'm quite distracted.
Yeah, you guys head outside, and you see, where you guys parked is kind of down near the boardwalk, down the opposite direction, but the ocean is ahead of you. There is like a little trail that kind of heads down, and there's kind of like a rocky beach.
I don't know about you, but I'm a pretty good swimmer. I think we can make it.
Fuck it. Let's go. I take a a 25-foot leap from where I am.
Whoa!
Glomin, give me with advantage an athletics check, and Chad, just give me. So that cancels. So straight roll. Sorry, Glomin.
Straight roll.
And Chad with disadvantage an athletics check because you're exhausted.
Yes.
16.
Oh, nice.
10.
10 is not terrible for sure. That was with disadvantage, yes?
Yep.
Okay. Amazing. Oh, fuck. Glomin, you leap 25 feet out, and you do like this, like this cannonball, like you do like a somersault into like a cannonball and like splash on the water. And Chad, you run and you like stumble a bit, you like belly flop, and the wave crashes over you. And you're still like, you stand up and you're still like waist high.
Yeah. Just do the big hair flip.
Glomin is quite a ways away from you, but yeah, it's what time of year is it? It's pretty cold. Yeah, it's pretty cold.
Yeah, it's okay. You know, I'm a frog, so as I can breathe underwater, can I do an investigation check?
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. Go do an investigation check.
Sure. With disadvantage because of my exhaustion.
Yes.
11.
11. You kind of swim down and you see like you reach the bottom fairly quickly because you're not that far out, and you find just like a lot of like seaweeds and rocks, and everything is kind of, well, you're slimy, so everything feels normal, but yeah, nothing really stands out to you.
All right. I guess I'll just swim back towards Chad.
Back up at the top, our European friend Xander looks at you, Ed, and he's like, with a mighty roll of an 11, he's like, yeah, it looks like if we turn this knob, it'll turn on the light, I guess.
Which one?
The only one I can see, and he's looking at the big analog knob with the moon, the little moon sigils.
All right, go for it.
All right. He's like, and changes to the second position. And you hear like, as like power. It sounds like power is being transmitted through to the lamp, and a dull gray light emits from the beacon. As odd as it is to look at, it your eyes focus, and you're like, that's a dull gray. That's not like what you would expect from a lighthouse beacon. At first you think that's all that happened, but you turn to look through the window, and what would have been nighttime is now a grayish color in the sky without it being full night. And a dull source of light kind of hides behind these clouds, very dim looking. You see these little black motes floating up near you, Ed. And Xander looks around, he's like, hey, it worked.
Ed still has his phone out and takes another picture.
Yeah. Are you
probably going to be like...
Are you inside or outside?
Sorry? Probably like in the doorway.
Okay. You... if you're in the doorway, it'd be easy enough to see that what would have been the forest kind of separating the lighthouse area from the downtown area now kind of looks like a horrific forest fire wiped out the trees. They're all like dying and dark black. Even the grass and the ground itself kind of looks a little bit like a barren wasteland. All the trees kind of seem like they've been withered and dying for miles and miles and miles. The mountain still looms in the distance, but it looks like a massive chunk is taken out of the mountain itself.
I'm going to look back to Xander and say, click the next one.
Xander's like, all right. And it's almost as if all of the light itself is gone. And it's like it's being absorbed instead of being admitted. You're now standing in the doorway, and you can barely make out Xander, ever so barely. And you only know because Xander's like, hey, man. Give me a perception check, Ed.
22.
Oh, 22 is very good. You kind of look over the coast, and it is pitch black. It is beyond black. Have you ever seen that paint that they made where it's so black that it looks like you're staring into like a void?
It absorbs like 99%.
It's called Vanta.
Yeah, that's what you're looking into.
Vanta black. Yep.
Vanta. That's what you're looking into right now. And with a 22, you kind of try to focus on anything, and again, you're staring out what would have been over the coast and you hear waves crashing below you. You can't fucking see them at all. It somehow sounds colder as the waves are crashing, and you swear something impossibly large moves out in the distance, and you hear as waves crash in the distance far away from you.
Very excitedly, I will turn back to the strange European man and say, turn it back to the first setting.
Xander's like, and you hear like a like he's like feeling around for the switch. Ed, you hear from below. Hello? And we're going to cut back to Ben. All of the trees expanded away as the coastline like rushed to meet you, and the waves crashed on the ground, and this statue is now standing in front of you, and it looks down at you. I need your help. I knew you would come. And it kind of like looks like it got distracted, and then it looks back down at you.
What do you need help with?
I was wondering how long it would take you or them. And like as they say them, I mean it's a carved statue of a woman with wings she's what normally would have been her holding out her hand with the lantern and like looking. She obviously is like moved and adjusted her form.
Am I
and she like is now looking.
Am I speaking to a tree, or are you some forest spirit, or any other thing?
Well, I think yes, all of them, all of that seemed accurate, and
All right, cool.
so much more. I think it's hard to know what you know, but and she looks up and she's like, "Don't touch that." And then she looks back at you and she's like, "Yes, I was wondering how long it would take you, and I'm not sure my message that I sent you to come here. It felt like years, but maybe it's happening right now."
When did I get the message?
Like 25 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it was like a half hour ago.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I can't move any faster than I got here. I mean,
And she looks over your...
Trailblazers aren't performance vehicles.
She's like, right, yes, that's creation you got here in, of course. And she like looks out and she's like, yes, I see you now getting it, and it must have been quickly getting here. And she looks over your shoulder. Watch out!
Are you telling me to watch out, or are you having an episode?
She looks down, she's like...
I kind of like to turn, check behind me. Anything behind me?
You turn to look behind you, and you're kind of in this half in and out of dream state, and you see like a shimmer of the door of the lighthouse and watch Chad and Glomin walking out of it. And then you turn your attention back, and she's like, no, sorry, not. That doesn't happen yet. That happens later. It's really difficult for me to keep track of what's happening when and what's happening where.
All right, so why don't you just tell me what just happened that we don't have to watch out for just yet?
Sorry, yes, I lose track. It's all relative, incredibly difficult to traverse what we're doing. It moves its hand up and it looks as if it was trying to grab for something, and it's like, oh yes, I'm missing a binding, something to keep me locked here. And you see her lean back.
Do you mean like these? And I'll kind of like lift up my sleeve to show my tattoos that bind me.
She looks like when she leans back, she looks up at the top of the lighthouse. She goes, hello, and then looks back as you say that, and she's like, a similar concept. Yes, I can see your attachment to the land here. You have been gone for a while, have you not?
From Null Shore?
Oh, I think you went missing a while ago. Yes, down here. And then she looks back. I'm missing a binding to keep me relative to where I am.
Where are you? Because you sound like my mother screaming at my father from the kitchen.
She looks down, and her other hand kind of, it's almost the entire size of you. She like bends, you hear the wood creak as she goes down, and she's like, well, if you really wish to know, I could try and help you understand, but I can't guarantee that it won't hurt.
I'm feeling pretty fresh. Let's give it a shot. And I'll kind of like reach out my hand to hers.
She's reaching, she brushes your hand out of the way, and her massive finger like just I was gonna say palms you, but it's a finger. Give me a
Elliot.
Give me a this will be a charisma saving throw.
I can't tell if that's an 11. Oh, 14.
14 total?
Yep. Yeah, it's 14 plus 0.
I'm like half worried it's gonna fucking kill you again. You take 14 points of psychic damage.
Yeah, that tracks.
As 14 wasn't enough. And your mind goes very hot. You can't see anything, you can't hear anything. You can't even feel your own body as it's just pure white. And then you come back and she like moves her hand back. She's like, yes, I thought that might happen. I don't think you're ready to see all of it yet. We're gonna cut from here. Patrick, you're
Wait, I just took all that brain pain and didn't get anything?
Didn't get anything. Ed, you're upstairs and you hear, hello? And it's still like almost pitch black. Again, you can ever so barely make Xander out, and you saw that shifting mass way out in the distance.
I'll turn back to Xander and just say, wait. And I'll go over to the edge and look down. Can I see any light or anything at all?
Yeah, you see like a dull glow from down there.
I'm going to take out a flashlight. Does it give me any bit of sight at all?
Yeah, you click on the flashlight, and what normally would be, fucking 80 to 100 feet of illumination is like barely 5 feet ahead of you.
I'm just going to run over to the hatch and say to... Well, no, wait, before that, I'll yell out below and say, is anyone down there?
Yes, down here.
And I'll turn back over to Xander and say, someone's down there. Someone that didn't come here with us. And just start running downstairs.
Xander's like, is it Dale? And Xander pops a flashlight as well and slowly starts making his way. Ed, I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You feel a part of the stairs give way as you quickly grab to the rail, and even the rail kind of shifts, and you hop down to the next stair, and as you look back, these are the same stairs you came up, but these stairs are weathered and they look like they've sat here for 1,000 years. Like they're almost, you can spot like down the stairs further, a bunch of them are straight up broken, and very few of them seem like they'll hold any weight at all. But you succeeded, so you spot this and you don't fall to the second floor.
Good. I'll turn back to Xander and just say, careful, something's wrong with the stairs, and slowly make my way down.
Yeah, he stops instantly. He's like, oh, fuck, good call. Thanks. Back on the beach, Glomin and Chad, you guys are soaking wet, but Glomin, you kind of really, that's your jam right there. Yeah, what are you guys up to?
I'll leap again back towards the water, towards Chad, and if he's like here, if he's like floating around, I'll go like 5 feet away from him and just land and like straight. Glomin's gonna put up his left hand and as a little gill, like a little shark fin, and let it poke out and start circling. Yeah.
Chad thinks about every horror movie he's ever seen and goes, "No, if I get tired out, I won't be able to fight." So he turns and gets ready for a fight in the water with this shark that's coming at him. And he's gonna throw a punch at it.
Give me an attack roll, yeah.
Whoa, that's a 23.
Yeah, you for sure hit this thing.
Ooh, and that's 6 points of damage.
And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Chad.
12.
What's your poison save?
12.
Oh, he just saves. Nice.
Yes. Nailed it.
You don't get poisoned, and you clock this slimy, almost like rubbery thing underneath the water.
I'm gonna quickly jump out with my hands like, "That's me."
Oh, sorry, bruh. I didn't realize it was you. How can you hold your breath that long?
It's just a trick I learned from my father, passed down through generations.
Can you teach it to me?
Yeah.
This is how Chad rounds.
Yeah, right.
Ben, yeah, you just took this blistering pain, and you see again this it's the statue ahead of you is like, I'm sorry, I didn't think that would work, but maybe a part of me felt like it could have worked. Sorry.
I mean, no, it's fine. I'm just bleeding from my ears and nose. And so you asked me to come here. You said you need help. You've given me one of the worst migraines I've ever had. I've ruined my shirt with all of my own blood. What can I actually help you with?
Well, it seems like I might be mistaken, but there's supposed to be more of you. Not you. There's supposed to be one other right there. Oh, they're over there. That's fine.
I look back again.
Yeah, it's like you see a shimmer of
Wait. Is Dale the other one you're looking for? Annoying little kid. Always got his phone.
Dale. I've never met, but yes, I know. Well, I know all that are here on this shore. And I know the one you're speaking of. Yes. But
where is he?
Well, I'm not looking for them, and they were in a tavern at some point, and then
He was here earlier today.
Well, today is a tricky subject. I see them. Well, they were sleeping. Now they're surrounded by other people, and they're all sitting with parchment and quills, and...
So he's asleep and he's being studied by very, very old scribes?
Two different things. And it looks over your shoulder again. Yes, come here. And looks back at you. Sorry.
I really can't take another hit like that.
No, not you. Not your friend there. Ed, you're walking down the stairs.
I look back again.
Nothing's behind you. You see again that you're still on this fake dream coastline where a vague shimmer of the door you walked in to get into the lighthouse is behind you. And Ed, you're walking down the stairs with Xander carefully making your way down. And you see the statue and it's holding a lantern in its hand and it looks at you and says, yes, come here.
Ed holds up his rifle facing the statue and slowly makes his way towards it. Do I see Ben?
You see what looks like a shimmer of what might be a figure, but you can't define any features. And it's like a light source, like a very, very dull light source that's kind of wavering in front of the statue. And you see it look down, and it says, "No, not you, your friend there." And it points at you, Ed. And it says, "Yes, I need your help." And Ben, you watch as it looks over your shoulder, and it's like, "Yes, I need your help."
I do like 5 quick takes. Like, who's there?
It's always the same thing.
Ed will keep going a little bit closer, but stays like 10 feet away from it, which is probably within its reach. But just look at it and say, "Who are you?"
You're lucky. That was quite a bit of luck, and using the beacon like that, you don't seem magical. No offense. And your friend there,
Untaken.
You both have a similar aura about you, unlike your friend here. And it points to the shimmer. And Ben, you hear all of this one-sided conversation, basically, and it points at the Ben shimmer, and it's like, unlike your friend here, they seem to be one of the protectors of this area. It's difficult to explain right now, but I need you to take this. And she holds this massive lantern in her hand. She's like, "I need this." She moves it towards you. It's like fucking 3 feet tall. Let me see here. No, it's like 4 feet tall, just about, and weighs probably 100 fucking pounds. Like, as it goes, she moves it towards you, Ed, and you kind of and Xander comes up to try to help. He's like, "Fuck." And you guys lower it onto the ground, and it's dust kicks up. Heavy dust kind of covers the entire area. She's like, "Yes, I need that, but I don't need it now. You'll need to bring this back from where you came from and give it to me then, or there. And then things will begin tying together. Mine was taken, but not mine here. Mine that I had there and then was taken from me."
Right. I'm gonna just lean around the light and look over at the shimmer and be like, "Dale? Is that Dale?"
Ben, you hear a...
I just kind of turn my head back. I do more of those, so it looks like my head's nodding back and forth no.
And you see the one... you both see the same thing, but it looks down at... it can see, apparently, everything in both of you. And it's like, right. And it looks over the lantern, and it goes, don't touch that. And then it looks back at the three of you. Yes. No, please don't touch that. It's very important.
Do you have a child in another room or something? What's happening?
And the one, Ben, for you, looks, and it shakes its head, and sorry, timelines are very confusing. I promise I'll be with you in one moment. And it looks back at what now looks like shimmers to you, Ben, in this dreamlike state. And it looks back at you, Patrick. Yes, it's incredibly difficult to explain, but I'll need you to just trust me and take this and reverse the process in which you got here.
How are we going to lift this up those stairs?
I can assist you. And she picks it back up and like reaches up through the circular hole and reaches up like towards where the third floor is.
Can you lift us up there?
It's a lot of stairs.
I suppose I could, yes. And you look
Yeah, they're falling apart.
You look over and Xander's like looking at a desk and it's got like, the desk is like kind of cracked in the middle and he's like, picks up like an old clock and he like turns it around and he starts like kind of looking at it and she goes, don't touch that. And he's like, oh. And he comes over and she's like, yes, here. And puts out her hand for you and Xander to jump on. You guys kind of like hop up and she like lifts you guys up most of the way because her palm is like flat. You guys reach like the railing above.
I'll scramble over and wait for Xander to come over as well and see if I can find that dial and just switch it right back to the first one.
Yeah, it's not incredibly difficult to do, and your light source isn't super great, but you can at least see the immediate vicinity. She's like, yes, I need you to, make sure you stay in contact with this when you switch that. It's a little bit different for objects. Your friend down there, I'm testing his patience, I'm sure, and it's harder for me then and there to communicate like we're communicating. And that said, when you guys take that to where you're going, I will have a difficult time communicating here, but it'll be easier to understand when you get there. All right.
Can't get much more difficult to understand than this.
She like just nods like, yep.
All right, well, I'll keep one hand on the lantern and click it back.
Xander puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, huh? And you click it back and all of a sudden the pitch black, your flashlight now lights up in front of you. And you see Ben, as it's reaching up to like keep its arm in place, you now see a light emitting from upstairs, like a bright light. And she like looks and she takes her other hand down. Yes, thank you. That was much needed. And she brings the light back down to ground level with Ben and she kind of like dims the light a little bit. And she's like, yes, sorry, this keeps me in one place and makes it easier for me to tell where I am in time. Otherwise, I'm kind of looking at all of the things that are happening at the same time in multiple different places, and not just the planet, not just Earth, but in all of the adjacent little pockets that take place at the same time. And she looks, your friends are having a fun time down at the bottom. There are terrifying things that lurk there. I wouldn't advise them to keep doing that. And she looks back at you, Ben. Sorry, you have the markings of...
I mean this with great respect, but first off, one of them is a frog, so they'll be fine. But I need you to understand that you are talking to me like a crazy person, and it's making me feel crazy because I can't keep track of anything you're saying, and you still haven't told me what you called me here for. And I'm hearing every other conversation you're having and apparently every other timeline that you exist in, before, after, present, anything that can, will be, future, and all of that. I'm continually having a nosebleed. I think I'm taking more damage as time goes on. I really want to help because I'm I'm bound to the earth, and I feel that you are too. And holy crap, is this what I'm going to become?
Oh no, this is far different. I mistook your markings for someone else with a similar marking, who was the protector of this entire area. We've kind of run into, the past long while, hundreds of years. We can get
Does the
into
name
all of
Emmett
that.
sound familiar?
Emmett, yeah, I'm aware of Emmett. I don't think we've met, but yes, Emmett is a.
That's not who you're talking about?
No, Emmett is one of the Earth, but not a true protector.
So someone like me with the markings?
Yes, someone very similar. She looks, her neck cranes up again, like the movement of the wood, and she's like, this will be a lot easier if, give me a second. And she pushes you with her full palm of, like, on your body, just like pushes you.
I take 95 psychic damage.
You don't physically move, but you hear this like bright static, and then you're like standing back in the lighthouse, and it's being illuminated all around you. And Ed and Xander up top both hear this ripping, tearing noise, this incredible like a boom of thunder, as well as Glomin and Chad downstairs. It sounds like a storm is about to start. Speaking of down at the beach, what are what are you doing?
We should.
Oh shit! Is that lightning?
Yeah. This doesn't look good. We should go back inside the lighthouse.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. Let's do that.
You guys are both like a little soaked, and you both grab your things and start walking back up as another staticky boom erupts from inside of the lighthouse. And you see all of the windows light up, and then dissipate again. Ed and Xander, are you guys making? Well, Ed, are you making your way back down?
The lantern's still there?
No, you saw when you were standing up there. As soon as you guys transported back, when you turned the dial, the lantern was there, and her hand took it back downstairs.
So when we come back, her hand is still there on it.
Yeah, still.
And she takes it back?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's weird. Ed will turn off his flashlight and just make his way downstairs, see if there's anyone there.
Yeah, you're greeted with, you and Xander Xander leaves his flashlight on, and he's like looking at the steps, which look fine. They look normal again. And you guys pass through the sleeping area and then back down to the ground floor where Ben, you see her, like, her hand is pushed out, and then it's like a flash of light and this huge eruption of sound as Ben is like standing back where he was. And then at the same time, Glomin and Chad come in through the door, and she's like, it's much easier to keep track of you all. And Chad and Glomin, the statue is now moving and talking. She's like, it's much easier to keep track of all of you when everyone is in the one place. Well, I need you all to help me fix what was broken 300 years ago. 300 years. That was not yesterday. Thank you all so much for listening. You can check us out at nofame.ca for all of our links to all of our content. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, be sure to write us a review as it helps with our visibility. Make sure to tell your friends, and if you want to support the show, you can do so at patreon.com/nofamepod. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you later on. Okay, how long did it take to crash last time? Just curious.
Literally,
just that amount of time right now, I would imagine is what he was going to say.
2 seconds.